safety. Second is developing youth. So this squadron is senior only, but we have multiple squadrons which are composite squadrons or just cadets only. And purpose of those squadrons is to develop these young ladies and gentlemen into hopefully aviators, or at least
Currently, the aircraft that we have is N743 Charlie Papa. It currently has 6.4 hours remaining before the 100-hour inspection is due. And that time is pretty much allocated to be flown off in the next couple days. And then we'll put it in for its 100-hour inspection, either Friday or Monday. I'll coordinate that with our maintenance shop, Maintenance One. There's a couple of outstanding write-ups. The PFD currently has a write-up where it doesn't stay bright enough, and so it seems like the rheostat switch that controls that manually, I tried it tonight and it seems like it flickers when you try to turn it down and turn it back up. So we'll see whether or not we can change the rheostat switch during the 100-hour inspection versus changing the PFD. There's also another write-up that I got to follow up on a little bit more, because Gary Cinnamon, our wing maintenance officer, he seems to think that the write-up is that when you turn the battery switch off, the PFD goes blank, even with the standby battery switch on. Now, in that circumstance, I've seen it shut down and then start back up because the standby battery switch is on. Now, he seems to think that that's normal, but I wanted to query other, because I can't remember in the other airplanes that I've flown with G1000 whether or not that's the case, if it's supposed to stay on or if it powers back up. So I need to follow up with that particular one. Another one is that the camera GPS cable, I took a picture of it right there. The people that use this camera last said that this GPS to camera cable was bad and that was not working, and so I took a picture of that, and I'm in the process of trying to find out how to get a replacement cable, because right now the aircraft is only partial mission capable, since we can't do AP missions without this camera. So it comes really down to this cable, and I've got some emails in asking questions on how to get that replaced. There's been a change in the price that the Civil Air Patrol is charging us for the aircraft on the 182 and the 206. Both of those have gone up. So right now it costs, which is a bargain, $77 an hour to fly the 182.
Plus fuel.
Plus
Yeah,
fuel,
driver.
yeah, plus fuel, which it burns about, 10 gallons
About
an
10
hour.
gallons an hour,
The 206, they're charging $109 an hour for that, plus fuel, of course. The last thing that I'd mention is that when you do create a sortie and you're finishing up the Wimmer's part of that for your debrief, you have to make sure that you complete the actual time of departure and actual time of arrival. That's a trigger in the software that updates the TAC to the total airframe time. So without filling that out, then in AMRAD, your total airframe and your TAC time don't match. And in our case, with this particular airplane, they need to match. I won't go into the other reasons why others wouldn't be the same.
That's Hobbs, correct?
Huh?
Hobbs?
TAC.
TAC.
TAC
Well, when
time.
we debrief sortie, we have to put actual values for both hubs and TAC. Hubs for billing, TAC for maintenance.
Yeah, so there's a dialog box in there where you fill out your start and end times for both TAC and Hobbs. But this is different. Up on the right part of that, it says actual time,
I will put it on screen actually.
the actual time of departure and actual time. Now, that is actually Hobbs time, or you can look at it as Hobbs time. That's what I've done in the past. And really, it's just a software trigger. It doesn't take that time. It actually takes the TAC time that you fill out, and that's what it adds to the total airframe time. So there's been other pilots that have questioned on that, and so that's the way we need to do that, to put that little trigger in there for the.
Right, so I'm sharing
AMRAD.
on Teams, and let me put it also on TV.
Well, before we jump to that, since I have this picture up here right now, that is the cable. I think I talked about this already, so you can take over now.
There you go. My screen is already up on Teams, so now it's coming up on TV. So this is how the screen looks on Wimmers. When you debrief a sortie, this one doesn't have actual data because this is a cancelled sortie on my side. But you can see that you have to put actual time of departure in Pacific time, and you have to specify Hobbs and TAC. it calculates totals, then you have to specify what is the actual value spent in going from airport and to, and hubs spent in the area. If you just fly in the vicinity of airport, you just put all the hubs for the area, it will zero out to and from hubs. And the total hubs should be equal the calculated value. Just a basic trick, the way I do it, I take a picture of the log in the aircraft when I completed it. So when I debrief it, I do it at home, no rush, I validate all the numbers, and then I finalize this form. There is one.
It won't shut off. Got it.
Okay. There is one extra step for Air Force funded missions which we shouldn't forget, which is filing Form E-108. And that would be under, I believe, Finance and Admin.
Finance, yeah.
So basically, it's very simple. You just go to create E-108. Currently, there is nothing going on because it's a brand new fiscal year. Otherwise, it would have options for past missions to select if it's billable to the wing or to the national HQ. So if it's an Air Force funded mission, you specify an HQ, and it will show all open briefed sorties. Okay? Please make sure you select only the one you have flown. Don't close others people's sorties because maybe they are not finalized yet. And it just generates the form. You can save it for your records. You can ignore that part, and once it's filed, you are done. That sortie is closed. Okay? And let's see if I can actually find how the log looks like.
Please make sure that all your Form 108s are to the penny accurate. Because if they're not, you'll get a call from the finance guy, Jim Crum, and then you'll have to make sure it's to the penny before you resubmit it. So.
Just a moment, I will locate one of the snapshots for the log so you can be familiar with it. It's been a while since I had the mission sorted, but I have a lot of photographs.
Did you go to the air show?
I'll talk about it.
What's that?
I will talk about it.
Oh, okay.
I did go to their show.
You implied that you weren't going to go?
I didn't go one day. I signed up for 3 days, but I couldn't go on Friday, and Bob was nice to take my place.
Very good.
It's a lot of pictures. Lot of junk. Should be around here. Ah, there you go. That's how it looks, and I will put it for the teams. Okay. So you specify date of your sortie in Zulu time, which is important to pay attention to it, or you specify that you did it in Pacific time. Then you put a mission number, actual sortie, symbol applicable to that, your flight release officer. If applicable, you specify a profile you have flown, tire pressure for the left and right main and nose wheel after you check it, of course. Your name, your CAP ID. If you are flying with anyone else, all of the pilots or mission observers or mission scanners should go to the proper seats. Departure airport, actual time of departure, departure airport, actual time of arrival, hubs and start and actual total. Same goes for the TAC. If you use any fuel oil. If you added oil, you specify here, and actual total from the receipt for particular fueling event. Don't forget to file Form 14, which is then part of Form E108. So lots of steps, but once you do it a couple of times, you'll be fine. Nothing really complicated. I have made a suggestion to scheduling module to add the capability for sending the actual calendar event once the sortie was scheduled, so it will pop up in your calendar. I don't know when and how soon it will be done, but the feedback was that it's a useful feature, and I think it will help all of us to schedule and maintain the schedules in the current state. So, speaking, any questions on that part?
I have a question. Before the change of the scheduling program, I used to get an email for every aircraft that scheduled an event in Southern California. Lately, I'm not getting those emails. Is there a reason why?
That's a good question. I also
so.
do not receive notifications. I just realized it right now that the aircraft I have on my list in preferences, I don't get notified.
Like, you just made a request for your sortie. I used to get an email that said that you requested that, and I could watch that and ignore it if I wanted to. But lately, I haven't been getting those. At least it seems like I haven't been. Now, I don't know. So you might want to check on that.
Yeah, I will open a ticket now. I opened already a couple of tickets, so it's pretty.
That's
easy.
one computer guy to another computer guy. That's what it is. You know. At least you talk the same language. You know.
Yes. Yeah, let's go back to some Squadron business. One important item, we are in a new fiscal year, which means our budget started from where it was left off last year. Speaking of which, I will move our budget committee, our finance committee, to the next week, because we need to get updated data from the wing on actual expenses and the balance on our account. So at that point, what we will do in the finance committee, we will calculate where we stand and for how long we will last on the present funding. But the next important item is membership dues for the new fiscal year. It's due as of today. So you can give me your check, and I emailed every member, applicable member, of course. A couple of members have paid in advance and doesn't apply to them, but for those who have a credit because they joined late last fiscal year, I specified exact amount which is due. So please, at the end of the meeting, hand over the check. I will give you a receipt, business as usual. We will deposit it to the bank and help the squadron funding as we go. Based on present situation, we are 32 members in the squadron. For us to maintain the same level of funding and cover our expenses, we need 50 plus members. So we will go on a couple of events to raise funding, as we discussed previously, but also we will engage a new airport manager at Riverside and try our best either to reduce the rent, which is right now over $600 per month, or maybe potentially eliminate it altogether. The new airport manager is heavily involved in aviation, has a good track record creating aviation aerospace education programs at Christian Baptist University here in Riverside, and there is a good chance for us to get a good attention to our problems. So we will do our best, and should we succeed, we will adjust our budget and if required, membership dues. Any questions on that? Yes.
Can you name the new airport manager?
Sure. Let me find the email.
What do you need the new airport manager name for?
Well, I think it's appropriate.
Well, it's Dr. Daniel Prather.
Spell that last name? Here we go.
It's been around a long time.
Yeah, so we will engage with him as soon as he takes the office and see where it goes. Next, I sign up as a volunteer. That's a part of our community service to help running the Pacific Air Show. Pacific Air Show had great attendance, and thank you, Bob, for stepping in. I personally liked it. One day on Saturday, I attended Civil Air Patrol booth, let's call it. Basically, we had a stand, and we were answering. We were situated in the area where Air Force, Army, Reserve had their own presence, police, sheriff, etc. So there was plenty of attention to our presence, and we've been answering continuously questions. We had a couple of cadets working with us, and that have drawn good attention from public who has teenagers in the family or children who will become teenagers soon and interested in aviation. So cadets tirelessly were answering questions. We were referring people to the squadrons which are closest to their location. And I don't know how many cards we have given away. I have no idea how many will actually come and visit the squadrons, but in my opinion, interest is there, and many alumni from Civil Air Patrol cadets stopped by, said hello to some of the cadets they have known, or squadron commander or cadet program manager, etc. So it was a fantastic event. Next day on Sunday, I have been air show support. So I was set at one of the gates, helping the security to to control the crowd and making sure that all the bags and stuff which can hold liquor or weapons and whatnot has been properly screened. Program was excellent. It was running from about 10:30 in the morning till about 4 p.m. Lots of people came over. What I really liked about the air show, all the people were pretty happy. There was not a lot of grumpy people. It was a good event. I highly recommend that this is kind of event I'd like our members to sign up. It doesn't require a lot of work. You don't have to go for more than one day. You're welcome to participate in half of the event if you can only allocate so much time. But it's great to actually show what Civil Air Patrol does and see what is out there in aviation community. All right. Any questions, comments?
Was this an event that we got paid for?
No, we didn't get paid for. We got lunch.
Well, okay, we get lunch and water. That's good.
All right. Yeah.
Was that Huntington Beach?
Yes. Yeah. And what I did personally, I signed up for a shuttle at Squadron 59, which is based at a reserve based in Costa Mesa. And I just came in the morning, hopped in their van, and they took me straight to the beach and back. And I didn't have to deal with traffic. wasn't a factor to the traffic myself. Okay, good. Let's talk about our schedule. So, Mike, you wanted to discuss Nighthawk schedule or meeting schedule?
No, actually, the holidays are coming up. Juan brought it up, and the holidays are coming up. And sometimes we coordinate going dark with the fact that we have Thanksgiving week. A lot of people are out of town, so we go dark that week. And then we go dark the week of Christmas week and New Year's week. So we're dark like 2 weeks solid from the time. And then sometimes we take maybe the week before Christmas because a lot of people leave and they go on vacation a week. So we're dark almost 3 weeks in a row. So we have to plan that. Plus we have a Christmas party in the month of December. And last year I was a little late getting that taken care of, so we had to go to Redlands spaghetti factory, and instead of the local one here in Riverside. So we'd like to get that secured, get a reservation there, or wherever we decide to go. We can go other places.
I have a calendar up there that we could look at if we wanted to tentatively pick some dates in December.
Right. So,
Need to start early on that.
yeah, we need to start right now if we're
Right now.
gonna secure something in time. Last year we had a problem because all of a sudden after the COVID, everybody wanted to go on a Christmas party, so there wasn't any place to secure, you know, so that's why we ended up in Redlands.
I would suggest the 13th.
The old guy there.
Yeah, I think first and second week would be perfect for that matter.
The 13th of December,
Yeah.
okay.
Suggestion.
Any
That's a-
objections?
That's
on-
a safety night, so we gotta make sure that we have a little safety spiel, but that's okay, we can do it there. You know, everybody stay sober. Safety meeting done.
Don't drink and drive.
Yeah, don't drink and drive, safety meeting over. So anyway, that sounds good to me. We gotta vote that in, or put it up on the board there? We
Yeah,
can
what
vote it
I,
in
what I
next
can
week if
do,
you'd like.
I can distribute sign up spreadsheet, and we can get
Yeah.
at least an idea how many members are coming.
Yeah,
if
we
they're
usually
coming
try to
with-
do an RSVP and tell them.
I'd book the place for 15 people,
I normally book
20
it for
people.
25,
25, there you go.
and then if it's not gonna be 25, I back it off and tell them that, you know, but say 25 first.
But if we go to that same place, the drill is that you order from the menu
Right,
and they bring your food.
right. And,
We-
and they'll do separate checks.
And we
So-
have a separate room
Right.
dedicated for us, if
Well,
we reserve it in time.
sometimes it's a big room with many groups in it, but yeah, we have separate tables, so.
Any specific venues, any restaurants?
Well,
you
we've
would
been
like?
going to the spaghetti factory the last few years in a row. It's been pretty good.
Have an
again-
hour ahead of time or half an hour for happy hour?
Yeah, we go there for drinks, for libations first, and
Well,
then we go in.
we have been doing the Riverside Spaghetti Factory, but last year, because they were booked, we got into Redlands, so we'll have to make a decision if we wanna go to Redlands, or, which is just off the I-10 in Alabama,
Yeah.
or we do downtown here at University.
Who would like to
So-
volunteer and call up
So there's
Spaghetti Factory and?
The secondly, if we can't get to 13th, we've always had a secondary
Yeah, let's do
date. I don't know
13th
if
as
you
the
people
first
wanna do it on a
choice.
Saturday, or,
We could do it like on a Thursday, maybe a 13th or the 15th, if that's okay with
I
everybody.
can't do a 13th, I've got advisory board for the city council.
You mean 15th,
The 15th.
okay. What's good for you, Bob?
We can keep it on Tuesday, so one
We
option
can
is
try
6,
that.
one is 13th.
Why don't we go 13th, 14th, and the 17th, which is Saturday? Or we do it Sunday evening too, on the 18th.
For me, I'm good with all the options. Any other
let's try 13th and 14th, and I think we're early enough, we might be able to book it this year.
Yeah.
So, let's try that.
Who will take the lead on that?
What do you call him? I'll call him tomorrow from work.
Bob? Okay.
We're gonna try to do the Riverside one, Bob.
The trouble is my wife can't make that one, that's okay.
What?
Yeah, she takes care of the grandkids.
Oh,
We'll see if it's the weekend, then she goes. But anyway, so we'll do the 13th.
I don't know how receptive we're gonna be if we try the Saturday.
Yeah.
Um,
Tuesday nights we ought to.
Tuesday
get
nights,
in.
everybody's allocated Tuesday nights, and
Mhm.
we, typically, that's what we've done in the past is on Tuesday nights.
We're ahead enough, I think we get it.
Yeah,
Mondays are always a slow night too. So,
But we're planning on Tuesday night anyway for the meeting.
Yeah, so I suggest we call up and ask for the 6th and 13th. 13th is first choice, 6th is a backup. Tuesday nights is already allocated in our calendar, we are committed to those, and let's stick to that, it
And
makes
then-
it easy for everyone.
we probably wanna go dark, what, from the 19th all the way to, and come back on the 3rd of January.
I'd say you're still 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days away from Christmas. The Christmas Eve's on Saturday, so why not have a meeting on Tuesday,
Which Tuesday, Bob?
the 20th?
Okay, so you wanna be dark the 26th on,
No, I'd say you can be dark from the 21st to the end of the year.
okay, 21st to the end of the year.
And then the
Or
next
to the
meeting-
2nd,
Next
actually.
meeting will be January the 3rd, which is the first Tuesday of January.
Right, okay?
20.
That sounds like something we've done in the past, the 21st, go dark the 21st, all the way to the 2nd, and then we'll have our first meeting the 3rd of the new year.
See, by doing that,
You might wanna just put that out on
I will send a memo.
a memo, yeah?
because we still have to do safety for wing, and it has to be done by the 20th. We're pretty good, Roger does it
Well,
the
safety
19th.
night is the 10th, so
Yeah, no, it's gonna be the 13th.
Yeah, we can move it,
So-
January the
We
10th,
can move it
right?
anytime there is, but
yeah, if we take December 13th as
I'm talking
a,
about December.
as a dinner, yeah, December, if December 13th is our dinner, then we will do safety night on the 20th, the next week, and we will be
It has to
good.
be submitted by the 20th.
The reason why we do it the first, or the second Tuesday is because it has to be submitted to group, then submitted to wing, and
Then
so that's why
third-
we picked that day, so.
Third,
But we can do safety night at the dinner, it only takes
We've
5
done it
minutes.
We've done it before.
Yeah,
It takes 10 minutes.
that's fine.
5 minutes, 10 minutes.
Just have Roger bring a sign-in sheet, he
Yeah.
usually
That's all you
comes.
gotta do, yeah.
Yeah, we're fine with that, that
Sounds
works.
good,
Yeah.
no objections?
I think there's no objections.
No.
It's worked in the past many times. If
That's-
anybody has any objections, though, please speak up.
That's dark start 12/21? Is that right?
Yes, 12/21 through January 2nd. And first meeting of the next calendar year will be January 3rd.
So the only Tuesday that we have to do the 27th, right?
2/22
What's that?
first.
So the only Tuesday that gets canceled is the 27th.
You want me to find out if the 13th is
Yeah, I
available? I
don't
call
know.
them right now.
Hey, why didn't we
Yeah.
take
Sure.
the week of the 19th all the way, Bob?
The whole week of the 19th?
Yeah, from the 19th all the way, because then the 20th that's a mentor night, it's not a safety night.
That's a squadron commander's call.
Well, that's not my problem.
I
Anymore.
agree, let's do
Let
it.
Bob make that call.
I like the 19th all the way up.
Let me
So
call,
we're missing.
call the spaghetti factory, see if it's available for December the 13th.
Wow, efficient.
First meeting.
Haley,
Get it out of the way.
Efficiency, man.
Otherwise, we forget and it gets delayed.
2023, that's the first time I wrote that.
What's that?
2023, that's the first time I wrote that
See,
down.
I like the 19th all the way,
Yes,
because
ma'am.
that gives you,
Good evening. I'm with the Civil
gives you a
Patrol.
week
I wonder if
before
it's too early to make
Christmas.
reservations for December Christmas dinners. I need a table, we normally do, the conference room in the back. We need 20 to 25 people. Okay. Sure, thank you. I think we're gonna make headways. But you can continue. If it gets bad, I'll walk away.
Yeah, no worries.
She's gotta get the manager, they have to do an approval.
Okay, we got
So the
holidays.
19th, that gives you a week before Christmas for people that go out of town,
19.
the Christmas week. And then it gives you a few days after Christmas, the day after New Year's to recuperate, which is the 3rd, so
Now 19th is dark, right?
that's what I think is the best, based on my history here.
Oh,
Watch that first step.
Thanks. Well, like,
The big red one right there, see, with the stripes.
Yeah,
The stripes
please
are
take a
missing.
seat.
Welcome. Please sign that pad right there on the bottom. There's lines on the bottom there. Yeah, right there. Thank you.
Okay, so one last item on my agenda is to talk about funding for Air Force funded missions. We at this point have funded Form 5 and Form 91 flights. We have proficiency flights, cadet rides, and MX. What is MX?
Maintenance.
Maintenance. Okay. So those are funded, ready to go, and self-funded sorties are all open. So if anyone wants to fly on your own dime, feel free to do so. A couple of basically we know that our aircraft shared with Palm Springs is going for maintenance end of the week. That's probably going to take some time, a couple of weeks for maintenance.
Usually 5 days unless something major comes up.
So at least a week. And also I know aircraft at John Wayne is in maintenance too for a while. So, and it's expected to be in maintenance for at least by end of this week.
Who's that?
What is it? 94. The one at John Wayne.
94800.
Yes, 9480.
That's in maintenance right now?
Yes,
Oh,
at Fullerton.
oh, at Fullerton, okay.
And I believe Fullerton aircraft is having some kind of maintenance issues too, but I haven't confirmed that. And we have, as of this week, as of yesterday, dollars loaded for proficiency flight. I will distribute to, well, it's already distributed to all transport mission pilots, MOs, and even, yeah, so all of the above, and flight release officers. There is a AFAM profile published, so please make yourself familiar with it. When you select a specific profile, not all of the profiles applicable to transport mission pilots. Some require an observer to be involved in a flight, since it simulates real-world scenarios. As we started talking about it, so before the meeting, the transport mission pilots can use the proficiency flights every 60 days. So I'll clarify if it's 60 calendar days or 2 calendar months. I'll just double check. And mission pilots can fly these sorties as many times as twice in 30 days. So hopefully you get your mission pilot endorsement soon and get some flying done. My objective is, since I'm all-rights qualified, as soon as I do my proficiency flight, I will start booking all-rights with neighboring squadrons, get some flying this way. I really like how Terry Pratt does his all rides. It's very efficient, very goal-oriented. Cadets loved it, and I really enjoyed observing it sitting in the back of the airplane. All right. I don't have anything else. Any other questions, topics, comments?
Do you have photos of the air show?
Oh, yeah. Well, I can show the footage and photos. Great.
Was there a gate that people had to pass through to attend the air show?
There were multiple gates. One gate was allocated for like cabanas, corporate stuff. But there were two gates for public access on two sides, plus the pier was allocated for premium seating. The general public entrance was $25 per day. You can go in and out as many times as you want. I don't know how much was the full show access. I just know about single day because I was there, and I believe the pier seating was about $70. Since I was there volunteering, I could go to the pier. It's definitely great seating environment. You actually over the water and you see airplanes flying pretty close. Lots of people. One problem, there was no food at the actual air show. So you have to go out and find street vendors for food and bring it back or bring your own food.
So who got the revenue?
I don't know. Have no idea.
City of Huntington Beach.
City of Huntington Beach got some of it, I believe. Okay, not a lot of footage, but I have some from first day and the second day. Let me put it up. Okay. One great thing was U.S. Air Force had like mobile setup where they did the simulation of flights in different scenarios. You could try yourself in F-35 flight similar to Top Gun Maverick, where you fly in a canyon and you have to hit the target. You fly through the target, then you have to shoot another target and then fly through the next one, etc. It's pretty hard, and you do it in VR headset. I got dizzy in that thing. And the flight controls were extremely sensitive. Okay, I'll switch the sharing on screen. And I will share on Teams.
Just for an update, I'm still on hold waiting for the manager to answer this thing, but I did learn that they use 200,000 pounds of cheese every year. And you can buy it in the stores now.
Fun facts.
Okay. So, that's just a banner. Early in the morning, no crowd. This is how the simulator setup looks like. So they had fighter style controls. The only options you had on the left power and pitch and bang on your right with a joystick.
Was that included in the admission?
Actually, it was free to everyone, to the public. You just had to go and complete a small survey for U.S. Air Force targeting young and capable people. So I did mine with no no risk of whatsoever. I probably would enjoy actually be involved with Air Force, but I guess I'm too old. The cutoff is 35-year-old. That's irrelevant. Right in front of Cup booth, there was Ford display, so the new Ford Mustang Mach-1 was pretty impressive car. Nice characteristics.
Gas powered?
Yes. And they had the truck, whatever they call it.
A lot of boats out there.
Oh yeah, that's probably was the best. If you have a friend with the boat, that's a free admission. You have premium seating. So something to consider for sure. So this is, I believe, F-35 flying there. That's about early in the morning, so the crowd is just flowing in and trying to get better seating. Here is F-35 making most of the noise at the whole air show. It's a loud machine. It's funny, it's stealth, like hard to notice on the radar, but really when it gets there you can hear it, but it's too late. Nice weather. It was on a reasonable temperature, maybe like low 80s. Good breeze. Perfect. So this is taken from the area where we had the tent set up. So there is a pier. Pier has a separate access. So if you have show access for the pier, you can get there. If you only have general admission, you can't get. And some aerobatics flights. Internet is pretty bad. Doesn't keep up. Maybe Google is having problem. I had issues accessing some of the footage today. Yeah, looks like it's a Google problem.
Sometimes our internet has to be reset. I don't know how long it's been.
We had B-52 on Saturday. It was the only day it made a low pass. There you go.
LP2?
Oh man.
I don't think it's an air show if you can't get close to the airplanes and touch it.
Yeah, makes sense.
I think it's a different thing. It's not an air show. I don't know what it is. It's a demonstration. Air show, you have to be able to touch the airplane.
We had multiple F-16s performing different maneuvering. There was a FedEx flying at least on Saturday and Sunday, making a low pass, and apparently it was just a scheduled flight with actual shipment, which just made a circle, showed off. Yeah, some interesting bicycles. That's a view from the pier. And there was a group, I believe from Canada, on 2 aircraft. Yeah, lots of people. Sunday was Sunday was a lot more people actually. Lots of boats, lots of very expensive ones.
So the Canadians had a demonstration team?
Yeah.
Like 10 years ago or something like that, when they were at March, they had Canadians. And it's pretty neat because I picked them up on the scanner and I could hear them. I got lucky and I was like scanning and I picked them up and I could hear them doing the little cues. Like you don't.
Yeah, internet doesn't cooperate. Sorry.
The boats seem to be in a line. Was there a restriction from
There are buoys they cannot cross. So there is a box for them to perform the air show, and boats are not allowed in the box. Let's see if this one works. I have short videos, just like 20-second marks.
The internet's running about 20 megabytes per second. So.
Go figure.
Hmm?
I don't know why this one is not working.
I don't know. It may need to be reset. mechanical boats have the best seat.
Definitely.
Yeah.
The coolest too. Like it's right in the water, you can jump in the water, get back.
Yeah, that's true.
Let's see, this is the video. No.
So what's the best part you like?
I liked Thunderbirds.
The Thunderbirds?
Yeah, they did great show. They were flying in formation of 6. They call it the diamond formation. Then they two split, and the 4 were flying the rest of it. Then they reunited. They did coming. One coolest part was they all come from all kinds of direction in one center and crossed.
Wow.
That was amazing. Did I go back? Looks like I have duplicates. There you go. I think I'll be able to show some of the Thunderbirds if internet cooperates. They did like one flight. They did 3 airplanes from those 4 were flying in one direction. Yeah, it was they started here and they split. 3 airplanes went this way, one this way, and they drew a heart in the sky.
Huh?
In memory for servicemen who lost their lives.
Lost pilots.
Yeah, it was a good event. Sorry for slow internet. Next time, David, let's reboot the router before. Very tight formation, and they did different low passes. One interesting flight they have done. 2 airplanes flying head on, one is upside down, and as they cross, they switch. They switch who goes upside down.
Yeah, we used to do that at CAP all the time.
I mean, that's a hard one. Didn't film it. And the bird. Cadets loved it. Having a nice high quality camera would make it better. I'm not a photographer.
Yeah, we can tell.
It's just iPhone camera.
Well, it's kind of hard to take videos when you're supposed to be working, so.
Yeah. But this was already at the end, so we were dismissed from the tent.
Oh, okay.
So we were waiting for cadets to get together and go back to the base.
6 o'clock cocktails for 24 people on the 13th. Dinner sit down at 7. If we have 25, they give us a menu with 3 items on it we have to choose from.
And if we have less, we get the regular menu. Good job, Bob.
Get it out of the way. We're all set. I'll check with them around the 1st of December for any changes. And if we get down to 20, they'll put us in a smaller room.
6 p.m. for cocktails and seating at 7.
Yep. RSVP. And because we're looking at 24. Just tell them we got limited seating for 24.
12, 13, 22.
And that's at the Spaghetti Factory,
Riverside.
Riverside.
Okay, I'll send the memo and I'll send the RSVP form to sign up.
We normally invite group commander, and anybody else that's in the southern section to join us. With a courtesy.
Well, maybe we'll get airport manager.
And of course, spouses and everybody are welcome to go.
Girlfriends, neighbors.
Neighbors, no children.
adjourned. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Andre.
Are you gonna is your address included for the check to be mailed? I forgot to bring a checkbook tonight.
His address was